Hey, you guys, let's go ahead and pull a reading, just see what the spirit has to say. I was shuffling and one card already flew out. You just saw the second card fly out. And those are both Scorpio cards, and we are in Scorpio season, so that's going to have a lot to do with this energy. We also have Aries and Virgo here as well. All right, so let me go ahead and read these cards for you. Overall energy, we do have a fiery climax approaches, okay? So some type of an ending, a completion, a finalization, and something, okay? This could be, you and someone else, okay? You could be going head to head. It could be a little scorpionic, so it could be a little bit intense right now because we do have Aries here as well. I feel like it's just to get through. It's almost like this clashing, right? Because this is a lot of Mars energy. Also Pluto here with Scorpio. Mars, Pluto, we do have a opposition that we're leading up to right now. So it can feel very intense. It can cause arguments, fights, with anyone in our life, or anyone outside of our life. So do be careful of that, okay? The fiery climax is just an ending and it just needs to happen, and sometimes we just have to work through that. Sometimes we're angry when these endings happen because we're just like, wait, what the hell? And it's more based off of embarrassment or fear of how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to make this work? Those types of things. We have the work through your fears, which is that Scorpio card. And then we also have the new moon and we have the full moon, and it says it's time to release negativity. So, that's what this fiery climax is all about. So if it's a negative work environment, or it's a negative living environment, if it's a negative relationship, if it's a marriage that just isn't working, or, boyfriend, girlfriend, does not matter. It can be very intense. It can be very scorpionic, like I want revenge. I really wouldn't. The best thing to do is, the revenge that you can take is just by being better and doing better and having no emotion at all. Like, okay, this needs to end. It's not working out. I don't really resonate with this energy anymore. And yes, it's going to scare me to move on because, well, I've only known this for a long time and this has become my new normal. Well, it's time for you to be in much more of a peaceful space and not in such this, scorpionic, Aries, like butting heads, fighting for your place, trying to get your point across. For some of you, this could be about your employment, right? Because we do have Virgo here. And this one says, you're good enough. Don't worry about what other people are saying, And, a lot of the time we take what other people say or do to heart, and really it has nothing to do with us. Sometimes it just has to do with them. And I feel like if you can start recognizing that, it's going to make matters a lot easier, and you're going to be much more peaceful in this energy. You see how she's so peaceful? She's just like, yeah, whatever, it is what it is. And Virgo, I am a Virgo, so I can, we can have a level of detachment where we're just kind of like, we see the reality of the situation. And I feel like that's what you're being asked to do, is see the reality of the situation and see that really this has nothing to do with you. This is just trying to shift you into a new, a new way, or for some of you, it's a new business, because we do have Virgo here. Virgo rules employment. So if you got fired from a job, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, well, what do you want to do next? Don't take it as like, I'm not good enough. I didn't, amount to anything, blah, 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 whatever we tell ourselves. Words. I always say words. That's all they are, words. Don't feed yourself full of that, because at the end of the day, you are good enough. If this is a relationship that you are walking away from, romantically or otherwise, I feel like, here's the deal. It is what it is. It's not, it's not the end of the world. It's just recognizing that this just wasn't your person, or this isn't the situation that you need to be in anymore. It's like, why fight? And it's funny because I'm an Aries ascendant, so I totally get this. And a lot of the time, I do want to clash with people. In the past, I did. Not anymore. Now I'm just like, it's not anyone else's business. If this isn't working for me, so be it. I'll just leave. I don't have time to fight or argue. It just is, because at the end of the day, it's not up for debate how it makes me feel. And therefore, if you don't care that it makes me feel that way, then, I'm not going to be in a situation to where I feel like shit when I walk into a room. It's just, again, at the end of the day, you're better than that. You've been through so much in your lifetime. Like, this is small potatoes. Don't let it become something so big. It's like making mountains out of molehills, right? And be careful of running off at the mouth and going head to head with people right now, because at the end of the day, I feel like it's just going to be throwing jabs, because I look at these two Scorpions and I look at this and it's like just throwing jabs at one another. Try not to do that, okay? You're better than that is what Spirit is saying. You're better than that. You don't got to go there, okay? It's not worth it. Yeah, and we got soulmates at the bottom of the deck. So yes, this could be with family, friends, romantic. However, it could even, for some of you, this could be at work. And definitely is these feminines, okay? Or maybe you're the feminine who's going through a lot of fear of like, okay, well, what am I going to do next? But it's saying like, just let things flow to you. Let ideas flow to you. There it is. We've got that fork in the road, and it's time to release negativity. The funnier part is the number 13 is connected to Scorpio, and we do have Scorpio here twice. And now we have Scorpio clarifying that. So this is the fork in the road. I feel like someone here is also making decisions about moving on. Where do I want to go next? And listen, I feel like you are being led by a higher power, or it's time for you to go towards your higher self. All right. And we've got the bottom of the deck. So be flexible. Be flexible with the endings that are approaching you at this time, because it can be really intense energy. And maybe for some of you, you need to work out, you need to go do some yoga, meditate. But also it's time for you to, whatever this egg is, maybe there is something new that is trying to formulate, and it's being held down because this ending hadn't happened yet. Once this ending happens, whatever it is, everybody's got their own ending. It's time to be flexible. It's time to, but it's also time for you to allow this to hatch instead of holding it back. I feel like for a lot of you, you've got a lot of like really good ideas of what you could be doing next. But again, it took the ending of a relationship. It took the ending of a situationship, a career, whatever that ending is, in order for that new idea to formulate in your mind, because Aries also rules the head, right? And there is an emphasis on her head. So because of that, there are some choices that need to be made. So if you were terminated from a job, then it's time for you to decide on whether, do you want to start your own business? I feel like for some of you, this is about starting a business. Funny enough, I just saw that. We have the number 19 here. 19, 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 is completions. And we have 3 full moons showing up in your reading. So there is some type of a culmination, an ending, and a completion. Things cannot continue going down the route that it's been going down. And there's no point in going head to head with people, fighting with anybody for your place at their table. Listen, you can go on, you can move on. I feel like there is going to be a new home for some of you, because we do have 2 4s here. 1 plus 3 is 4, and we also have the number 4. So you could be seeing 444, 44, the number 10, okay? This is also about, I'm getting like new partnerships too. Maybe there's a new partnership that you've been wanting to enter into, but because you were in this old partnership, it couldn't formulate. So there was like this monkey on your back. For some of you, it was feeling like you weren't good enough. You need to release any negative emotions, any negative like self-talk also, because I feel at the end of the day, you're the one that's talking yourself out of it. And I feel like you're all up in your mind about certain things that, oh, I can't do that. That's for other people to do. I can't be successful. And at the end of the day, it's saying like, work through those fears, because you are creative. And I feel like your creativity, is the key to unlocking, your intuition. So honestly, I feel like this is actually a nice flow of energy. It's just you needing to get out of the way of yourself and getting out of the way of other people who make you feel like shit. Okay. And not being mad about it. If somebody is moving on, let them move on. because there can be a lot of tumultuousness in the household because we do have Mars in Cancer in that opposition to Pluto in Capricorn. So a lot of endings, plus we're in Scorpio season, moving up onto that new moon in Scorpio, which is coming up in the next couple of days. And with that said, it's like, this is intense, like bubbling to the surface. And I feel like it's almost like an abscess getting ready to pop. It's like, that's kind of what I'm getting. Disclaimer here for those of you who are having headaches. Okay. My suggestion is go in and have that checked out because we don't want to have any health issues, especially for those of you who are prone to headaches. I'm definitely getting that. Okay. I feel like something can be healed. For others of you, if this is some type of a health issue that you're dealing with, I do feel like depending on the decisions that you make, and maybe, it's about diet and exercise because we do have that here and we have that Mars energy and we also have Virgo, which is all about our health. So if you've been dealing with any type of health issues, I do feel like, those are things that can be overcome. Obviously, I'm not a doctor. I'm not prescribing anything. Please talk to your regular healthcare physician, yada, yada, yada. With that said, need to make some changes about your approach to your health because I feel like for a lot of you and all of us, when we go through some type of health issue, that can be connected to something spiritual, obviously, right? Eye infection is what is it you're not seeing, ear infection, what is it you don't want to hear? Throat infection, like who do you need to talk to? Cold sore, like who do you need to tell to fuck off? You know what I mean? So there's always a spiritual connection to everything that we experience in our bodies. And also because we do have Scorpio here, this could be colon issues as well. So, stomach issues because we have Virgo. So, something connected to health. For some of you, it's colonoscopy. This could be a colonoscopy and a choice, whether or not you want to do that or not. That's not going to be for everyone, but I am seeing that here. Random. What else do we have here, Spirit? I do feel like you need to listen to your intuition more. For some of you, this is about doing some spiritual work, okay? Working with somebody who is in the spiritual realm. Also, pay attention because I do feel like there could be some crossed over loved ones or ancestors and messages coming from your higher self, coming through that dream space. We are, where the veil is very thin as well. And I think that you could get some messages that are the keys to unlocking whatever it is you're supposed to be doing next. Any fears that are percolating, listen, your track record for getting through thus far is already 1,000%, okay? So every time you feared something happening, the Spirit's like, yeah, checkmate, but did you die? You know what I mean? They kind of have a sixth sense of humor. It's funny, not funny at times because we're just like, it's very intense and we're at our breaking point. And I feel like a lot of people that are at their breaking point right now when I look at these cards. And it's a lot of things that are boiling to the surface. And so some of you just need to say what's on your mind. You need to just get it out, and stop being afraid. Maybe your fear is you're always trying to stuff things down because you're afraid of being heard. And if if you say something, it could, or upset the apple cart. Well, maybe sometimes we need to upset that apple cart because things are not going to change if you don't say something, if you keep it stuffed down inside. And it's like, oh, it's okay. Well, sometimes it's not. And a lot of you, this could have something to do with the feminines in your life. Be mindful of the poisons that you're putting in your body. When we talk about poisons, because Scorpio does rule poison, and we do have poison here, or Scorpio here twice, and we have Virgo, which is health. Maybe it's time for you to start thinking about doing a detox, getting further and further away from processed foods and stuff too. So eating more from the earth. I am getting like eggs, okay, fresh eggs off the farm. And sorry about the darkness, guys, but I'm down at the park recording, so it's just pretty down here. I love it. And I needed to be out in nature just to kind of download. And I do feel like you will get some messages. This is a really good time to, practice a little bit of witchcraft. Obviously, don't be putting spells on people or doing love spells. That is taboo. You never want to make somebody fall in love with you that is not supposed to be yours. So let's not do that, because you can get really bad karma from that. Because at the end of the day, you are good enough to be able to manifest a relationship. For some of you, this is a masculine that is leaving your life at this time. The feminine, I feel like a lot of the feminines are choosing to walk away. They're choosing themselves. Their intuition is leading them towards a higher level of commitment in another relationship where they know they're good enough, and they're at peace in this relationship. So if you are the feminine, or if you're the masculine and you are wanting to be in a relationship, I definitely suggest you do your damn work. We can't have all the feminines rising and doing their work without having the masculines rise and do their work as well. Okay. So a lot of choices, needing to listen to your higher self. I do feel like you just need to take one step towards the gods and they'll take 10 steps towards you. Get out of this stuck feeling. If you want to start that business, start thinking about starting that business. If you want new employment, start thinking about what you're doing when it comes to new employment. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to take a class? If you're wanting a new health regime, this is a good time to do that. Start working out, start eating healthier. Cancer does rule the stomach, so Scorpio rules the intestines and, the small intestines and the bowels, whereas Virgo rules the large intestines and the nervous system. So regulating the nervous system as well. Not so much, So get away from people who make you feel that. Definitely go start some yoga, go work out. If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling like, just get out for a walk even, okay? With that said, I'm going to go ahead and leave that here, you guys. A lot of beautiful information. This is about that new moon in Scorpio. The fact that it's showing up in today's reading is just asking you to allow these endings to occur, work through whatever fears you have about your next steps that you're going to take. Allow the negativity to just dissipate and flow, and don't attach, and just know at the end of the day, you are good enough, and your higher self is telling you you didn't come here to feel bad about yourself. Anyway, you guys, I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in a personal reading, all my information's in the description box down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It does help my channel grow. Give me a heart, comment. Let me know how this reading resonates with you. Anyway, you guys, thank you again for being here, and we will chat again soon. Take care.